Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stelezzi here for another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World Unit Visual Showcase. So today I wanted to do the Armenians, because I was meaning to do the Mounds and Mountains expansion civs a while ago, but I never got around to it. So today we'll be doing Armenians, and then I'd like to do Georgians and the Kalusa at some point either next week or the week following. Alright, so here we are with the Armenians today. What we basically do is we show you what the units look like up close, like we are now, below units, and then we do all the upgrades, particularly the veteran and the guard ones, and just show you after each upgrade how the units look, alright? So, should be pretty fun, okay? Alright, so we're going to start with the infantry, and we got 4 units here. We got the Armenian militia, which is your pikemen, the composite bowman, which is sort of your fortress age archer with some cool abilities, like having a literal splash attack with his range attack. We got the Nonkalar here, which is sort of your Armenian doppelsoldier that gains more stats the more sort of peasant militia units he's around. So either these two here, the spearmen, or these types of peasants over here. And then we will go over this militia here, the Feduan. Yeah. Feduan basically is your set of militia that's kind of an early skirmisher, but it costs food and wood, so in some ways it's very affordable. Yeah. Right, so yeah, let's do it. So we'll start with the Armenian militia over here. So at the start of the game, looks just like this. Has a bit of a turban on, a bit of a white long pants, baggy pants, a bit of a yellow vest there with a bit of red-orange in the middle. And obviously not wearing closed-toe shoes, so obviously pretty cheap peasant militia type unit there. Not quite a full peasant like these guys, but kind of the same social class. As we upgrade him though, you'll notice some pretty big changes, right? So notice now he's using a pitchfork, right? So a literal farmer who got sent to war to stand on the front lines, right? So as we upgrade him with the veteran upgrade here, right? He gets actually some sort of, I believe, thicker clothing on, right? You obviously have change in his sleeves, his vest and everything, his turban changes a bit. And notice how he upgrades from a pitchfork to a farming hoe or a plow. I mean, I'm not a farmer, so I don't know exactly what the tool is, but he's got a more heavy piece of farm equipment to use now. I honestly think the pitchfork would have been a better choice since it has a bit of a sharper point to it, but hey, if you think the farmer hoe could do a bit better, I guess that's what you end up doing, right? So after that, you can get the guard upgrade and notice the changes. So now he's like an actual soldier, right? He's got a steel helmet on, he's got some, I believe, scale barding armor on, he's got a more armored vest on, his pants changed a bit, and now he's wielding an actual pike, right? He's gone from a pitchfork to a farmer hoe, so sort of farming tools, to an actual pike. So now he's like a real soldier. He's actually equipped with something he could actually fight a war with, really. Because honestly, using farm equipment in ancient times was successful in some situations, but definitely the pike is going to do you a lot good. So it's good that he has that. Next we move on to the Feduans here, these militias. So for the Feduan militias, you have 2 varieties. You got the male, and then you have the female. And essentially, you can either get all men, all women, or obviously a combination. So, as we upgrade them, you'll notice some probably mild changes. So once we get, and I should explain sort of how they look now. Obviously, the male is very yellow with his vest area, and then the female is more so the color of the player, a bit more gray. Obviously wearing the bonded overhead as well. As we get the Veteran upgrade, they don't really get a lot. They just get sort of this red band on her, and I think his thickens a little bit. Then as we get the Guard upgrade, then they get a bit more intricate, right? The male gets a more yellow turban that's less dependent on the player's color. He gets some stripes here, and then the female gets a more intricate skirt. So they don't actually change a whole lot visually, right? Moving on, we got the Nokalar here, the doppelsoldier. So right away, you'll notice he looks kind of like a medieval knight almost, right? He's got the very baggy sleeves on with the player's color on. He's got a decent, I believe that would either be like some sort of brass or bronze, maybe leather cuirass on armor, and a nice skirt and everything, and red leggings, and a nice thick head of hair there. If you get his guard upgrade, notice how his armor looks a little bit heavier now. Maybe it's like 2 or 3 layers. He's got a bit of a turban now. He's a little bit more elite, right? Pretty much. Moving on, we got the composite bowman here, your archer. So you'll notice right away he sort of looks almost like an Armenian Robin Hood. He's got a nice blue cloak on, has a composite bow, and yep, not too much else other than that. You get his guard upgrade. He gets a little bit more armored, right? His tunic changes a little bit, and he starts to get, I believe that's either chainmail or scale barding on his arm, so he's a bit more armor now, but nothing too much different, right? Yep. So there's that. I just wanted to show you what the peasant units look like here that you can get as both Armenians and Georgians. They kind of just look like Indian, sort of the units you get from the Indian Civ, right? They're very basic white tunics, green turbans, completely barefoot, so if they're walking over sharpened glass, that's going to hurt pretty badly. Yep, but they're peasants, so it's not much you can do. Now we got the cavalry, right? You got the Aruzi cavalry here, wearing a nice suit of scale barding armor, a nice player-colored helmet on of pure steel on there. He's pretty well armed. He's like an actual knight. You'll notice that with the javelin here, the Aspet as well, but we'll get to him in just a little bit. Let's upgrade the Aruzdi a little bit. See how he looks. Now the horse has a full set of scale barding, you can tell, and also the helmet on the Aruzdi is way more armor now. You can see he's got scale barding around the side of his head. His helmet has much more steel plating on it. He's ready for war, you can definitely tell. If you get the guard upgrade, now it turns to gold. I mean, that looks like he's actually plated with actual gold armor now. That's like insane. And look at his lance, too. It goes from a very basic lance to more of a ceremonial weapon. That lance has a pretty thick blade on it. It almost looks like a little knife or a little sword protruding out of it. And the area around the tip there is all gold plated with a bit of a kind of a design to it, almost like a nagana. It's pretty cool, actually. And you'll notice that the horse not only has the gold armor, but he's got a bit of the player's color painted into some of it as well, plus some appears to be some feathers protruding from the sides of his mouth there. So it's like a very ceremonial type of armor to wear, pretty much, right? We'll see if the Aspet is the same. So at the start, the Aspet looks just like this. He's got, that either chainmail or plate barding on, but he's got some green tunic on, that green metallic helmet, and then he's got a bit of a more medieval thing on the front. As we upgrade him to the guard upgrade, he gets a gold-plated helmet, much like the Aruzi, but he's got some feathers on it. His armor doesn't change much. The horse changes a little bit. I think he gets a little bit more steel around the eye area. And his middle piece there goes from just a plain white to having a bit of red on there too, which I think is pretty neat, right? So there's that. And now we just have to go over some few other things. So, by the way, this is the king over here. This is what your ruler looks like. Has a crown, he's got a staff, and then he's got this nice king's clothing right there, so he looks just like royalty, right? And then let's do the siege stuff. Now, in general, the siege stuff is not particularly unique to the Armenians. It's also shared with the Georgians. So you can also get these grenadiers and these trebuchets as the Georgians. And you can also get the trebuchets as the Knights of St. John as well. So there's a more so shared units. But I just wanted to show you what they look like anyways, and I might do them again on the Georgian showcase just to make it consistent, but here we go. This is your Mountaineer. He's a Grenadier that is a little bit less durable, but he's got more range, which arguably is better. because you want to hit from farther range. I feel like with the Grenadiers, that really sets him up really good. So right now he looks like this. He's got his special little helmet on, with a bit of a plume on it. He's got the red covering there, more of a more formal European attire with buttons and stuff in the middle. As we get the variant upgrade, now he's starting to his helmet looks much more armored now. He's got some white patterns in his little red cloak over there too. As we get the guard upgrade, he completely changes to a blue-yellow uniform, almost like a Swedish Caroliner, or Caroliner there, or a Beverlangar. And then has a nice red cloak on, and he's got a more, almost like a Russian or so, hat on his head, right? And this is the trebuchet here. The trebuchet right now has just a bunch of European-looking troops with the trebuchet, which is the standard look. Let's see if we get the guard upgrade to the counterweight treb if it changes anything. It doesn't really change anything at all. I believe for Knights of St. John it does add the Maltese flag to the thing, but here it doesn't look like it does much. So, yeah. Also here we got one more thing too. This is the grain cart. This is the cart that essentially Armenia gets that allows you to train in sheep and fatten them. So I figured I'd just show you what that looks like up close. So there we go. That's all the units for Armenia and their visual upgrades, evolution, if you want to call it that, right? It was fun bringing it to you. I can't wait to do Georgians and Calusa for you as well in the coming days to weeks. So sign off now. See you all on the next showcase that we do together.